Welcome back to another episode of our U Tactical Academy.
It's the law enforcement YouTube channel.
U Tactical Academy law enforcement YouTube channel. Kind of a mouthful. We might need to turn that into just one big acronym.
We're going to make an acronym there. It'll be the whatever. All right.
We'll also have a video at some point of police acronyms. Because if you ever talk to a cop, I'm sure you've noticed they'll use acronyms and you just go, yeah, okay, I have no clue what the hell that is.
Yeah, we'll do a fun video here on police language. So
anyway, today we're just going to dive right in. This will be a fairly simple video. We have done a video on what to expect for the written tests, and we already talked to you guys about basic testing, what to expect, your physical test, written test, oral boards, and then after that, it's the background checks and stuff like that. We've already done a video like that. Now we're just going to break down each thing so you guys know what to expect in each area. Today we are going to be talking primarily about the physical test. So let's dive right in. We are based in Utah. We've said that before, so we're very familiar with kind of what different agencies around here are requiring as far as their fitness tests go. When I was preparing to do this video, though, I did look into some of the other states that I wasn't familiar with to see if they were, going to be polar opposite or something. What I found, which was pretty cool, is that it's pretty much the same across the board, generally what they're going to expect from you as far as your physical test goes. So almost every single agency or state that I researched had at least 4 common exercises that they made people do. And in addition to those 4, they would add maybe 1 or 2 of these other 3 that I'll talk about in just a second. So the main 4 are going to be sit-ups, push-ups, some type of a sprint that's going to be between 150 yards and 300 yards, and some type of a longer run that's going to be between 1.5 miles and 2 miles. So sit-ups, push-ups, sprint, 1.5 miles to 2 miles. So you're going to just be expecting that you're going to have to do all 4 of those things.
And the sit-ups and push-ups, well, actually everything has a time limit on it.
Yeah.
Everything has a time limit on it. What I was going to say about the sit-ups and push-ups is whatever the number is. So what's an average number on sit-ups?
An average number I'd say is going to be 25.
Okay, so let's say it's 26 sit-ups in a minute. Okay? That means that you can't stop. You can't lay on your back and rest in between sit-ups.
Or drop your oh sorry. Well, he's
right?
saying
on sit-ups. So you fail. You have to do them consistently. You could rest in the up position. We're going to attach a link here so you guys can see what we're talking about. But the same thing when you're doing the push-ups. Typically you're not going to get to do the push-ups where you're on your knees and only doing your upper half. No, you're going to be on your toes. Your whole body's going to be elevated. You're going to do push-ups. They're going to want you to lock your arms out at the top. They're going to want you to touch something at the bottom, whether it's someone's fist or they've got a little block that you have to touch. And if you don't go all the way down, they're gonna say 5, and you'll go down again 5. They're typically not real helpful. They're not telling you what you're doing wrong. But I'm telling you right now, you're either not going all the way down or going all the way up. So whatever the number is, you have to do it continuously without resting, without stopping for a minute. So that's the push-ups and sit-ups. And then I'm sure there are times on the run, right?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be times on the run, and that's going to vary from agency to agency. I know the Utah Post, like the academy requirements for the entrance, they require you to be able to run that 1.5 mile run in 15:37, I believe it is. That's almost 16 minutes. That's a really long time. So you should not be training to get it done in 15:30. You should be training to get that sucker done in 11, 12 minutes. So we want you guys to over-prepare. I can't harp on that enough. With everything in law enforcement, it's so much better to be over-prepared. So
yeah, don't try and just do the minimum, because what if, Courtney had said this earlier, what if you have to do 26 push-ups, you've trained to do 26 push-ups, and then they come after the obstacle course. You're going to be exhausted.
After the sprint.
If you've
ever tried to do push-ups after a sprint, different ball game.
So try and do as many as you can. Try and exceed these minimums that we're talking about. So Courtney, because Courtney's going to go into how to prepare for this in another video. So right now we've got sit-ups, push-ups,
a sprint,
a mile and a half run. On the sit-ups and push-ups, do you know more or less what the numbers are that they should expect?
Yeah, typically for your push-ups, plan on between 20 and 30. And it's I would say it's pretty much the same across the board as far as the time limit goes. It's almost always 1 minute that they're going to give you to get those completed. Like Dave was bringing up earlier, you have to complete those consecutively. You cannot rest. I believe most agencies will let you rest in that up position, in that upward plank. But you can't rest at the bottom on your stomach. You can't put your knees down. They'll fail you for that. So you have to complete those push-ups between 20 and 30 push-ups in a 1 minute time period. With the sit-ups, you're generally going to see between 30 and 40 that they're going to require you to do in, again, 1 minute. So typically your sit-ups and push-ups are going to be 1 minute time frames. And again, consecutive reps. So for the mile and a half, I already gave you guys the Utah Post requirement, 15:37. That is going to vary throughout other states. So again, make sure you're just doing adequate amount of research before you test so that you know what they're going to require you to do. And then same thing goes for the sprint. You want to make sure that you're training the sprint. So if it's a 150-yard sprint, or if you're only training a 150-yard sprint and then later on test day you find out it was a 300-yard sprint, that's going to be painful adjustment there. So make sure you know how far that sprint is and make sure you know the time frame or the time limit that they're going to give you to do that. And then again, throughout training, you're going to want to train to blow that time limit out of the park. You want to shave like 10, 15 seconds off that time limit if you can. That would be awesome. So
that's pretty simple.
Yeah,
that's about it. But
basic.
I want Courtney real quick as we close this out. What are some of there were 3 other things that you said you've seen that aren't necessarily happening everywhere, but what are those other 3 tests that they may run into?
So one of the 3, I don't necessarily want to say it's common, but I don't know. I would say 50-50. So, which is what it was for me when I tested. I tested for 4 different departments. 2 had me do it, 2 didn't. That's the obstacle course. So, like I said, sit-ups, push-ups, sprint, mile and a half. I still had to do those, but in addition, I ended up doing an obstacle course. So, the 3 that I wanted to talk about real quick that you may or may not have to do, in addition to those super common 4 exercises that we already talked about, would be the obstacle course, the vertical jump, and the broad jump. And a few agencies I have seen actually test the sit and reach. I didn't necessarily want to say that was even common, but I know that it was common when you were testing.
Yeah, it's
a flexibility test.
Exactly.
You have to sit with your feet against this board, and my palms, the bottom of my palms would be my heels, and my toes would be the tops of my fingers. You'd be sitting with your feet against the board like this, and your hands would have to reach in between your feet onto this little measuring tape, and they'd see how far you can reach, how close pretty much you can get to your toes. So when preparing, we want you guys to be working on your flexibility anyway because it's safer. You don't want to be preparing for all these different physical tests without taking care of your muscles and your body as well. And like Dave said, we're going to make another video that goes deeper into the preparation for this stuff, but we wanted to outline it in a quick video, just what to expect. So that pretty much wraps it up. I'm just going to repeat everything one more time. Your 4 most common exercises that you're going to have to do most likely at any department are going to be sit-ups, push-ups, some type of a sprint, some type of a longer run. And then the other 3 that you may or may not see are going to be the obstacle course, vertical jump, and the broad jump. So now you guys kind of know what to expect. You'll find the requirements as far as rep ranges and time frames go that you'll have to complete those things on the website of whatever agency you're testing for. If you can't find it, shoot an email over to their recruiter or HR or something and see if they can hook you up with the requirements.
Yeah, guys, and in conclusion, this is really important to me. I want you to understand this. If you're not fit enough to pass this test right now, that's a problem. And we're not judging or criticizing anybody, but this test, in my personal opinion, it's a very low standard. The reason I say that is because when you're on the street as a police officer, your fitness may save your life, but more importantly, your fitness may save a fellow officer's life. And so, being fit at a very minimal standard just doesn't make any sense to me. You guys will be in a job where you cannot predict what the next 15 seconds brings. And the fitter and stronger and more prepared you are, the more likely you and your partner will survive. So fitness is so important. Make a goal right now to be the fittest version of you that you can when you show up to test. All right. Okay, guys, check out the next video. We'll break down what these tests are as far as how to prepare for them. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and share it with your homies.
We'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.